All right, hi, Professor Hall, Lucy here. Again, sorry for not being able to make it to class on Monday as I was traveling back home for the holidays. But without further ado, let's get started with my presentation. So, I decided to kind of advocate for Joe Thornton because growing up, he was one of my favorite players and is actually the reason why I wear number 19 still to this day. So basically, I'm just going to advocate for him and why I believe that he should be inducted into the Hockey Hall of Fame. So to get started, who exactly is Jumbo Joe Thornton? Jumbo is his nickname um, after his size and just the growth that he had throughout his hockey career. So they named him Jumbo. He was born July 2nd, 1979 in London, Ontario, Canada. He played junior hockey, which is that period after high school and in between college, for the Greyhounds in the Ontario Hockey League, also known as the OHL. Growing up and throughout his career, he was known for his immense size, being 6'4", 220 pounds. He was drafted first overall in the 1997 NHL draft. He's also eligible for the Hall in 2025, so hopefully he'll be inducted sometime this year. And he recently retired about a year ago, October 28th, 2023. As I said, he played juniors in the Ontario Hockey League. Growing up, he was recruited for his size, and he was drafted number one, just to summarize a little bit of this slide. Next, a little bit of an overview of his NHL career. He played a total of 23 seasons in the NHL between 1997 and 2023. Throughout his career, he played for four teams, which are pictured below, including one overseas, that one being HC Davos, Hockey Club Davos in Switzerland, in the National League. And then the NHL teams that he played for were the Boston Bruins, where he played there until 2005, until he got traded to the San Jose Sharks then. Played for the San Jose Sharks, Toronto, as well as the Florida Panthers. Next slide. These are just a little bit, this slide specifically shows just a few of the awards and accolades that Thornton received throughout his career. So to the left, we can see that in 1996, he was a part of the OHL All-Rookie team. He was the OHL Rookie of the Year and Canadian Major Junior Rookie of the Year as well. Then later in 1997, he was the CHL Second Team All-Star Team. He was also an award winner of the CHL Draft Prospect Award. He was part of his OHL second All-Star team, as well as part of the U20 World Juniors Championship gold medal team. Then in 2002, 2004, 2008, 2003, and 2007, he made the NHL All-Star Games. In 2006, he was a Hart Memorial Trophy winner, which is awarded to the MVP, as well as the Art Ross Trophy winner, which is awarded to the player with the most points. In 2009, he was an Olympic gold medalist in Vancouver, and in 2016, he was a World Cup gold medalist with Team Canada. A little bit of important information to note is when he won the Hart Memorial Trophy, he was the first in franchise history for the San Jose Sharks to win this trophy, leading the league in assists and points. Some important stats. He was one of only 14 players that had reached 1,000 plus assists. In his 2002-2003 season with Boston, he joined Bobby Orr as the only Bruins to have 100 points and 100 penalty minutes. Now, if we look at the slide, he played 1,714 games, which ranks him sixth in the NHL for most games played. He has about 430 career goals, 1,109 career assists, which ranks him seventh, and total points of 1,539 points, which ranks him 12th. And he has a plus minus ranking of 100 plus 182. One thing to note that is important is that Thornton had played fewer games than these Hall of Famers, which makes it even more impressive. Um, so this is a note for looking at the top 10 in assists all time. Has more assists than current Hall of Famers like Mario Lemieux, um, which is why I kind of explained that like it's interesting because he had more assists in fewer games, and Mario Lemieux is already in the Hall of Fame. Next is the Thornton, comparing Thornton versus current Hall of Famers. If we look at the chart, we can see that Thornton, right here, is in the top three. The graph to the right shows current Hockey Hall of Famers that compare to Joe Thornton's career points, which, as a reminder, Thornton had a total of 1,539 total points. Oates, which he is ranked about fourth, Adam Oates, was another legendary playmaker, scored 1,420 points, which ranks him ninth all time. And just with Oates's stats, we can see that Thornton's points and assists rank him better than Oates, although Oates has won 2 Stanley Cups, which is also a question that I was kind of looking at. Like, in order for an NHL player to be able to be inducted in the Hall of Fame, do they have to have a Stanley Cup? In my opinion, I don't think that they do, because it also all depends on the team that you play with. If we look at Pavel Datsyuk, was a more of a two-way player, but Thornton's numbers far surpassed Datsyuk's offensively overall. It's also important to note that Datsyuk has a move named after him, um, which I think this slide kind of, I don't know, it shows how important Joe Thornton's impact on points in the National Hockey League were, and I think this is a big reason why that he should be inducted. Another thing is his jersey retirement. His jersey retirement, which happened not too long ago, mid-November. And this basically is when a number or jersey is retired, it means that no other player from that franchise may wear the number. Again, as a tribute to the greatness of the figure that once represented it, which in this case, Joe Thornton. I think it is clear what kind of person and player Joe Thornton has been and continues to be in the hockey community. Far from what he did on the ice, he also did different organizations off the ice, helping homeless people, and different organizations to help sick children. Lastly, these are a couple reasons that I think Joe Thornton should be inducted. So to summarize it, he was an Art Ross and Hart Trophy winner, two of the most memorable trophies. Aside from being a leader, he also had a big impact on teammates like Patrick Marleau, both on and off the ice. Players like Crosby and Connor McDavid have been able to develop their careers based on similar principles that Thornton demonstrated earlier in his career. So, to look at this slide specifically, he was one of the best in the NHL history, sixth all time in assists. He had 23 years of seasons. He had an impact on every team that he played on. He was a captain for both the Bruins and the Sharks. He brought the Sharks to their first ever Stanley Cup final in 2016. He also had a really big impact on reshaping the look and the idea of how the center position should be played. He really showed that centers can also be playmakers and not only score goals. Lastly, overall, he made an elite production over a whopping 23 seasons in the NHL. His leadership and influence on teammates are also something that'll last a lifetime. And he also has a long-lasting impact on the game, including to myself, for inspiring me to keep going and wear number 19. So those are the reasons why I think he should be inducted. Thank you for listening, and if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to email me and I'd be happy to answer them. Thank you so much for an awesome semester, and I hope you have a great rest of your year and happy holidays. And here are my references.